Better Together podcast.
Welcome to the Better Together podcast from the Fuquay Arena Chamber of Commerce. We are recording today from the Dashmore Conference Room and Studio, sponsored by Rescued Wood Rehab. The Better Together podcast highlights local businesses each week as the Fuquay Arena Chamber of Commerce continues to promote an amazing business community. I'm Brad Marshall from Greater Culture CrossFit here in Fuquay Arena, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Marty Woodward from Rescued Wood Rehab. Marty, how are you?
I'm doing really good, Brad. I'm excited about our guest today. We're gonna have some fun. You never know what stories might come out with this next guest.
That's true.
So we want to welcome in Sarah Schaitel from Sarah Nicole Virtual Services.
Hi, guys.
Sarah, how are you?
I'm good.
You're an ambassador with the Chamber of Commerce and very active, always around. Got your family coming to events as well. And gosh, it's great to have you here.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here and chat with y'all.
Well, it's going to be fun. So
I know.
Tell us about Sarah Nicole Virtual Services.
Well, I started Sarah Nicole Virtual back in 2022 in January. I've spent over 10 years in the corporate world dealing with chaos and stuff. I was always the person that they go to for it. So in 2022, after I had my son, I was like, all right, I need something that's closer to home, kind of thing like that. Unfortunately, in July of 22, I was let go by Baker Roofing, which was a blessing in disguise, which was great. And I luckily have a super supportive husband that said, just jump and do it. So I started Sarah Nicole Virtual, and ever since then, I've been around the chamber, and you guys haven't been able to get rid of me.
Yeah, you just keep showing up, which is awesome. And so, you obviously, had to make or you made a jump.
Mhm.
Whether you had to or not, you made a jump. What got you into like, hey, I'm going to be a virtual assistant or virtual services for anybody?
Yep.
What got you going into that?
So, like I said, I've worked in the administrative world for over 10 years. I've worked in banking, medical sales, medical recruiting, and construction management, which a lot of people are very surprised when they see me. I never climbed a ladder. I never swung a hammer, but I did all of that back end stuff, and I enjoyed doing it. So when the opportunity came about and I heard about virtual assistants, I was like, all right, this seems like something I want to do. So let's just jump. Like, did the courses, and then in 2022, my husband's like, just do it. Like, whatever.
That's awesome. So,
Yep.
I mean, what were the challenges that you faced in the beginning of starting your own business and getting it off the ground?
So just like every other business owner, it's gaining that trust. And yes, I'm not shy now. I've gained my confidence in around town and stuff like that. But at first, it was hard to get out there and kind of like talk about it. Because like the big thing that I tell people is that you have to talk about yourself. And that's something that people don't want to do. So my biggest thing was getting out there and gaining that trust of everybody and showing my expertise, that I'm not just like some random secretary off on the side. So yeah.
That's awesome. What are the unique aspects of what you do? This when you hear virtual assistant, you go, okay, well, but I never get to have contact with you. I mean, what are some unique things about what you do?
So there's two unique pieces of my business. Is that one is that I'm not in your business for the long term. I'm in it to help you long term. So when a client comes to me and says like, "Hey, Sarah, I need to hire a full-time admin," or like, "I need like you more time," I consider that they're graduating from me, because that is telling me that we put your processes and your systems in place to an extent that we can move forward, that you are self-sufficient. Because my thing is that I need to make you get you out of your business, if that makes sense. The second piece is a huge cornerstone of my business, which you said earlier, Marty, is family. I run my business with real life in mind. Kids exist. You guys see my son Matthew here all of the time. So I normally have him in tow. Soon I'm going to have two of them in tow. So I run it like a family. So that's a big piece of me, is that I'm very family oriented kind of thing. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that idea of the relationship,
Mhm.
how important that is, family driven, connecting with people, wanting to see them succeed and move on from you is really unique. And so when you start to think about the products and services, why people might reach out or what sort of issues or challenges they're coming to you with, what are some of those products, services, or the things that people are coming to you for?
So a lot of the products that they, or the services more that they're coming to me for, is going to be that project management aspect. Because I do have that construction background. I have a line of construction workers in my family. I know how to handle all of that stuff. But as well, they're coming to me for those systems and processes, because a lot of times a business owner isn't, they don't, it's not that they need help, it's that they're overwhelmed, that they don't know where they need help. So once we put those systems in place, that's where they're able to automate their work and start to actually get back into the business of why they started their business. Because 9 times out of 10, people aren't in the business because they want to do the paperwork. Mostly it's the project management, those SOPs and systems, their administrative support, just getting that back end stuff going.
Yeah, it can bog people down
Mhm.
being so ingrained in the business of just doing the day to day. All of a sudden, the day slips away from you. Like, what just happened? Oh, I've got to go do all this emailing and admin
Oh
at the
yeah.
back end. And you're really highlighting how important it is for them to pass that off so that
Mhm.
they can work on the business,
Yeah.
get out into the communities, which is
I s-
fantastic.
I stress to so many people that delegation, yes, it's a hard task for a lot of business owners, but it is one of the most important tasks, or important tools to use. So I always stress to automate and delegate. We'll be able to get back into the business, because I'm sure you didn't get into CrossFit for to do the paperwork.
That's right. Exactly. That's the least fun part about it. Yeah. That's exactly why I got it. So I could sit at a desk and
Right,
do paperwork all day. Oh, you guys go work out, have fun. I'm going to sit up front here. So. Well, and one of the things that I think is challenging for business owners too is they're trying to figure out, where do I go to get these services to help to, free up some time for me. So when you think about how you stand out
Mhm.
from competitors or as people are on Google searching virtual assistant help, what stands out to you as something that differentiates you?
So it sounds weird, but I'm US based. I may be virtual or remote, but a lot of my clients actually enjoy that I'm local, or that I am US based, because they are able to see that friendly face. Just recently someone's like, "Oh, you're a real person." I'm like, "Yeah, I am a real person."
You're not AI?
So,
What?
right. So like in the world of like Siri and Alexa and all that, like, I'm a real person. Like, I'm here to help you. So y- most of the time you can find me at one of the coffee shops, or I'll be at my remote office doing a Zoom call, kind of thing like that. So I think that's what makes me unique to other virtual assistants, because 9 times out of 10 you're Googling virtual assistant, and those online ones will pop up and be like, well, I don't want someone outside of the country, because you are handing your your business to somebody, and you don't want that in international waters sometimes. Oh yeah.
I think that's really important to build that relationship and feel like you can easily reach out, connect, get together in person, even if possible, for some of those services, which is always fantastic. You're someone who very involved in the community, involved with the chamber as an ambassador. What are some of the community involvements or initiatives or things that you really enjoy doing of trying to get out into the community?
Well, obviously I'm involved with the chamber as much as I can. So I co-host a networking event that meets the third Wednesday of every month over here at Winging It in Fuquay. I co-host that with Brittany and Suzanne Yeager of Your Smart Office, who are also small business owners, as well as Destiny Spangler Pereira, who works with First Citizens. So she's a business leader in town. So I co-host that. I serve on the board of Fuquay Local Heroes. So that is a group of us that meet, and we provide a breakfast once a year for our local heroes, and we present them with awards, because they do a lot for us, clearly, as a lot of us know. And then, of course, like you guys said, I'm an ambassador with the chamber. I'm a graduate of Launch Fuquay, the first cohort. as well as a recent leadership Fuquay Arena. So I like to just be involved and um, be an advocate, obviously, for the community, but also just like help however I can, kind of thing. They tease me all the time in launch that I was, whenever they're like, "Oh yeah, I need this," I'm like, "Oh, I know a guy. I know a guy," and so I like being that connector person.
So you obviously ingrained yourself into all kinds of different things around the community to support your own business, and you spend a lot of time helping people with their business, right? But were there some lessons that you learned in starting and continuing your own business as a virtual assistant?
Oh yeah. So I've learned that you have to lean on the business owners around you. One of the very first lessons or advice that I was given when I first started was to lean on everyone around you. Don't make the same mistakes that they made. So if somebody is telling you, "Hey, do your website in XYZ format," or anything like that, trust them, especially if they're a seasoned business owner. Um, I know there's the saying that like it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a village to also run a business. So I lean on what I call my business village. So it's the chamber and other community members that kind of are my sounding board for stuff.
So somebody who is an aspiring entrepreneur and wants to start a business, what piece of advice would you offer to them?
Obviously, stop in at the chamber, talk to Dustin and Christy. Obviously, they're a wealth of knowledge. Lean on like I said, lean on the other business owners around you, and go to those networking events. Yes, I'm extroverted, but I was super nervous to go to now.
Didn't know that.
I was super nervous to go to my very first event. Alan Jackson actually had to like coerce me out of the car to be like, "All right, let's go." Like you're going in there. Yeah, you kind of just have to lean on them, lean on your business village. They eventually become your friends. I literally just texted or called one of the other business owners the other day because I was like, "What do I do in this situation?" So yeah, lean on the people around you.
Well, I hope the situation wasn't coming to the podcast.
No.
No, okay. Well, you got that handled.
Yeah, I got that on hand.
And what are your future goals and upcoming projects that you've got going on?
So I'm super excited because I actually just finished up a big piece of it today. I've launched a course. It's called Side Hustle the CEO. So it's designed to teach others how to become a virtual assistant. So it's for people that are experiencing like a career change, they want to experience a career change, are starting to feel burnout like I was when I was in mine. Or they're a parent that just needs some like nap time hustle. So it is a self-guided course. I just finished up the recording for the larger course. The starter course has been out since Halloween. So it just teaches you how to go through it. So this larger course starts off with like mindset and knowing like how to get the work done, like when to do the work, all the way up to how to scale your business and how to take time off as a business owner, if that even ever exists. Like, so yeah, I'm super excited for it. So that will be going live in the next couple of months. I'm going to be meeting with my social media / marketing manager, this month.
That's super exciting. And so you mentioned that the big course, the main course, has been out since Halloween. How might folks find that if they're interested to check that out and get prepped for the next one that drops?
So both of them will be on my website. So sarahnicolevirtual.com. And they're also linked on all my socials. So Sarah Nicole, Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, so definitely go check those out. Fantastic courses. And so you mentioned someone who's very involved in the community. You're getting out around town. This might be a really tough question for you to leave some out, but we love to get a sense from our guests. What are some of their favorite spots around town? So, you could probably give us the laundry list, but we'll keep it to a few here.
Yes.
What are some of your favorite spots around town?
So of course, Fat Cat is a family favorite.
He's made his way back.
Back.
Basically,
Fat Cat shows up in every podcast.
It is a family favorite. I would be wrong if I didn't mention Daddy D's. My son loves Mr. Tom and Mr. Blake. But of course, a family favorite is Mahana Fresh.
Oh, it's good stuff.
We love it over there. Rick and his team are amazing, and it's always a good eat over there.
It is, yeah. Their food's fantastic.
And
really
it's
healthy.
on the healthier option,
Yeah, healthy options.
Yeah.
Great options over there. Yeah, a couple of former guests on the podcast, Fat Cats, Daddy D's. So all fantastic options here in Fuquay. And so when you start to think about business advice that you receive, you mentioned leaning on others in the community, connecting with others. I'm sure they've shared some pearls of wisdom. So when you think about the best business advice you've received, what comes to mind?
So this actually came early in my previous career. So in a past life, I was a medical recruiter for a locum tenens company. But it has transferred over to my business ownership side. It is you need to live in the awkward and always be their third best friend. So the lovely Neil Callahan, who was my medical recruiter trainer, taught me that, as well as he taught me that medical recruiting is not for me. But we found a place for me, so it was okay. Yeah, he always taught us that you have to live in the awkward. So it may be awkward to make that phone call or to go to that networking event, to walk up to that group of people at that networking event. But it's like a millisecond of time. Because everyone has been in that seat before. So you just have to get yourself out there.
I love that. So getting comfortable with being awkward, being uncomfortable. And as a business owner, once you start to experience that, you're like, oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I've made it a little bit bigger in my head than what it actually was.
Oh, yeah. There's been so many times where I'm just like, I can do it again.
And then you got the confidence to like, all right, now I can go help others do that too, which is fantastic. And so having been in business now for a couple of years, is there some either unique or surprising facts about your business that maybe people don't know or aren't aware of?
So most of the time as a virtual assistant, people are very surprised to learn that. Most of the time I'm just problem solving and working through the tangled messes that businesses are. Because like we said, most of the time people aren't going into it to have this whole back end piece of it. I had a past client that actually said to me, listen, Sarah, I didn't go into business for this. Like, I wasn't even expecting to have a business. So, like, what do I do? 90% of the time, I am just untangling webs. Yeah, most of the time, it's just untangling everything and making your business work for you.
So Sarah, you mentioned before how to connect with you, and what's the preferred method? Go to your website then.
My website, you can find me at an event, find me at a coffee shop. Find me somewhere.
SarahNicoleVirtual.com.
Yes.
Is that what?
Yep. And then, or you can just find me on Facebook or Instagram. Just message me.
And so just kind of the next steps in that. If somebody connects with you and they say, hey, I need help. I don't know what's going on in my business. I need help. What's that next meeting look like when you engage with a client?
So the next meeting is a quick either in-person meeting or a Google Meet call. Whatever works better for people, because a lot of times, if you're an introvert, you don't want to be out in public, and that's perfectly fine. We'll sit down. We'll talk about what are your needs, what are your pain points, what does your day-to-day look like? Tell me about your business, because I'm coming from the outside in, so I don't know woodworking to save my life. Like, so tell me about your business, kind of just have a chat, like a normal, just talk about your business, talk about yourself. And then from there, we'll figure out what steps need to be taken, what services you actually need as opposed to what you think you need. And then we go from there, and then I go through the whole paperwork.
Yeah, and you come through with problem solving. Like, oh, I think I can help you with X or Y, right?
Yep.
Okay, and I think that people don't fully understand like what services they really need, and having someone come in and look at it from a fresh set of eyes.
Yeah.
Right. And that's really what you do. That's fantastic. What's the best part of being so connected with the Fuquay-Varina Chamber for Commerce?
They always know someone that can help. So I always tell people that talk about your business. But I may not need your services, but I may know somebody that needs your services. So like right now I can't do CrossFit, but down the road I may know someone that does. And there are so many times where people are asking me like, "Oh, where's the good gyms? This and that." I'm like, "All right, go over see Brad." Like, you need something made, go see Marty, like kind of thing like that. So, being able to have those, I hate to like date myself on it, but like the Rolodex
Yeah,
of people.
those
Yeah.
connections, right? All those connections, and yeah, the Rolodex side. Sarah, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you
a guest on
guys.
our podcast. Folks out there, Sarah Schaitel, Sarah Nicole Virtual Services here in Fuquay-Varina. Thank you so much for being a part of it.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you to our listeners out there. Join us each week on the Better Together podcast from the Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce as we continue to highlight great local businesses. From the Dashmore Conference Room and Studio, sponsored by Rescued Wood Rehab, I'm Brad. And we are Better Together.
We're better together. It's a weekly podcast. We're better together. You should know that there's more in the dash. We're better together. Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce. We're better together podcast.